A one, a two, a three, a four. What up, y'all? Babylon 5 Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Event. How you guys doing? Faithful host, Jermaine Event. It's episode 44. Did not think to name it. How about a running title is just San Pellenegro? Alright? That's the running title. San Pellenegro. Everybody cool with that one? That's just the running title. Let's see. I don't know if they'll let me throw Negro in there, because like some of my, as I said before, some of my earlier titles, they wouldn't allow those titles to be on YouTube. I guess I could go back and like rename them if I wanted to, but I wanted to call that episode Heroin Addicted Whites. I think that's the first episode, Heroin Addicted Whites. Because I started this podcast right after I got married to my lovely, lovely wife, Sarah. And, I saw that stand-up special the night we got married. We went and saw Dave Chappelle and Jon Stewart at the Red Rocks. So I had already seen that special, as I said in episode 1. And so I named the episode that. And I mentioned there that that's most likely going to be what you're hearing if you watch the upcoming special. Because they announced it like right after. And I was like, nigga, did I just spend all this money for the same jokes that you about to give everybody for $8.99? I don't remember. What's the subscription at this point? If I'm going to give you niggas the social medias, if you want to follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. If you want to follow my personal account on Instagram and Twitter, it's at my name's Jermaine. You can email the podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow this podcast. Yes, you can. Ladies and gentlemen, it's free to make an account. You can listen to all the podcasts you want, all in one place. You'll get the updates. You can just have it all there in one spot. Just go ahead and follow this podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, nigga, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. All right? If you niggas got Xbox One, go ahead and add a brother. My gamer tag is SauceBoss414. You can check out the merchandise at teespring.com/stores/BOFpod-shop. And you can, at some point, I'll play with myself again. We'll see soon. Twitch.tv/Babylon5. If you niggas want to go ahead and be my patrons, be my patrons. Don't front. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod. Got some shit on there. Got some I digresses. I guess pretty soon here, I can put the album on there as an exclusive pretty soon. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What are we going to talk about right now, ladies and gentlemen? What are we babbling about? Babbling about some random shit. Just a little bit of random shit. The other day, I went to a little smoke shop over here. Little head shop. Purple Haze over here on the east side. I just needed a lighter. Yeah, I just needed a lighter. And I know that like CVS, I know they don't sell like tobacco products, so I just assumed I couldn't get a Bic there. But right across the street from CVS is a head shop. Anywho, sorry. So I knew I could get a fucking I get a bit lighter at least there. And while I'm in there, we're in there waiting for our turn, because, you know, only so many people could be in the store, but yada yada. But we're waiting to be helped by the lady. And there's these two little white girls ahead of me and my wife, and they're like hitting some vape pen or whatever. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool," blah blah blah. And like the lady's saying like, "Blah blah blah blah, Delta 8, blah 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 blah, Delta 8, blah 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 blah, Delta 8." And this white girl was hitting this vape, and I was like, curious what the fuck Delta 8 is. And the white girl's like, "Yeah, that's real amazing. Like, yeah, I gotta get some when I get some money." Is what these white girls were saying. Or I think that's what they were saying. Yeah. So we finally get our spot in the line next. And we're getting lighters, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I was like, by the way, what is Delta 8? And she says she tells me Delta 8 is legal marijuana. All right? Legal THC is what Delta 8 is. And I look it up a little bit. You guys should do your own research on it. I think it's like, there's like 9 cannabinoids that make the THC, the marijuana, that everybody loves so much. Everyone fucking writes so many songs about, you know. Would we have a Snoop Dogg if it wasn't for those 9 cannabinoids? I don't know, my nigga. I don't know. Probably, because from the stories I heard, he was already on before he ever had smoked weed. Like, he was already working on music with niggas before he ever smoked weed, so most likely. We would just have probably a more gangster Snoop Dogg. More than ever, yada, yada, yada. So, there's the 9 cannabinoids, and Delta 8, ladies and gentlemen, only has 8 cannabinoids. 8 of those cannabinoids. So, therefore, it makes it legal. I got this vape pen here we bought here. It's like $50 here. See, I think like it's like it has like a light effect on it. If you hit it a couple times, it's like, I would call it marijuana light. Very, very light effects, I would say. If you if you do the vape, sorry. I'm glad this is happening, actually. I don't know if there is. I haven't seen it. When I looked up Delta 8, I've only ever seen like people doing like a concentrate. You know what I'm saying? They either were like dabbing Delta 8 or they had a cartridge like this here. So sorry. They had a cartridge like this shit. This shit makes you cough like a motherfucker. Is what I'm trying to get at right now. It says, no, I don't know what that is. That's just talking about THC. It's like, does Delta 8 get you high? You can't simply get a high Delta 8 THC strain, since the cannabinoid occurs in such low quantities in natural cannabis. There simply aren't any strains that will give you noticeable effects from the Delta 8 THC. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a super mellow, like, high. It's marijuana light. If you're 18 or 21, maybe it's 21 now. Maybe you guys should try it if you've ever tried the real stuff, or you feel like the real stuff is just too powerful, might be too powerful, and you're just curious. Like, this is a real mild effect, and right now it's legal, you know, so why not go ahead and try it if you can while it's legal. I wouldn't try to steer you toward anything wrong. I mean, I haven't seen any negative articles about it yet, so maybe it is real wrong. And if I see those articles, I'll apologize. But for the time now, I think you guys should check it out. You know, check it out. Why not? Go ahead and check it out. Which reminds me of like when I was in high school, fucking senior year. At Rufus King, fucking Mr. Mazer. I'm saying his real name out here. Mr. Mazer. He was like, I don't know how this shit even came up. I mean, it was my politics class, so maybe we were just talking about things that are like loopholes or some shit like that, and politics and government, politics and American government, and Mr. Mazer was saying like, well, I'm just saying, you guys are seniors. Some of you are 18. There's a thing that's legal right now called Salvia. It's probably going to be made illegal in a few months. But if you're old enough and you're curious to try it, like it's known to make you hallucinate. So if you're old enough and you want to try it, I would suggest you go to a place like Knuckleheads and you can buy a little bit and try it out. And yeah, he said this in class. All right. And my 18-year-old ass at the time was like, "Oh, I know where Knuckleheads is. I've heard of that place." So I was going. You know what I'm saying? I remember one of my white friends from high school. I say it like that because in high school, most of my friends were black. So I want to say white boy Ryan at the time. Though after high school, see, that's what's crazy. I would say like most of my friends after high school were white out of the people that I hung out with from high school. But most of my black friends like all went down south to like HBCUs. So it wasn't like I just like abandoned niggas. If anything, I got abandoned. No, I didn't get abandoned. I wanted to go to Southern Miss, but something happened. Something happened with my guidance counselor sent my transcripts to some fucking school, maybe Mississippi State, and I was sending it to the HBCU. I was trying to send it. I don't know what happened. But I applied for Southern Miss, and then like super late, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like I never got a letter, like, know what's going on. And I contact them, and it's like they never received my transcript. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, you did. I sent that shit a minute ago. It's nonsense. So I was trying to go to these HBCUs too. You know, niggas is finna go to the South. I was trying to tell niggas a long time ago, like, niggas was about to move to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. So yeah, you know, most of my friends were white. Shout out to Juneteenth. That was a dope day this year. Shout out to the acknowledgement that it's getting right now. I used to just joke with all my white friends, like, oh, what are you guys doing for Juneteenth this year? And they'd all, like, give me this blank stare. Like, what the fuck is Juneteenth? They had never heard of it. Me saying, like, what are you guys doing for Juneteenth this year? Would fucking throw them off. Like, what? What are we doing for what? And now, like, I was at work the other day, and just randomly, this is one of the first jobs I worked with, like, a ton of black people, and fucking one of the other managers, Jesse, was like, hey, happy Juneteenth, and like all the black people was like, hey, happy Juneteenth, and it was the blackest moment of my life, ladies and gentlemen. Felt so great, all right? Felt great, all right? But I digress. Most of my friends were white after high school. So I remember white boy Ryan, who smoked a lot of weed back in high school. He would tell me about Knuckleheads. So I was like, fuck, that's that spot Bob was telling me about. So I went down there with the homies. At this point, I had started to hang out with some of the white friends. Because, you know, another thing is, like, because around that point I had started to smoke weed, like, toward the end. Like, once I was, like, 18, that's what I'm saying. I didn't really, like, smoke weed until I was 18. And once I did that, I started to hang out with more of the white people in school because, as I'm saying, like, most of my black friends, they went to HBCUs and shit like that. Like, we didn't, like, we would go to parties, like house parties, but we didn't smoke. We didn't drink. We didn't do things like that. We just went to the parties to hang out. I didn't know. I was ignorant and didn't know that everybody was doing shit like that. I thought everybody was just trying to kick it like me. I'm just here to kick it. I didn't know. And then I started kicking with white people, and it's like, oh shit, niggas is getting fucked up out here. Y'all are drinking alcohol? Y'all are drinking alcohol? Anywho. So, niggas went down there off the advice of my teacher, my high school teacher in politics, because it was legal. You know what I'm saying? He's like, if you're 18, you want to try it out, go ahead and go and try it out. There's a terrible video somewhere in the world, ladies and gentlemen, of like me, White Boy Ryan, plenty motherfuckers. Their names need not be mentioned. Doesn't matter, all right? I know me and White Boy Ryan was there because we was kicking it, and this other nigga like hit us up and was like, come over to his house, blah, blah, and do this. And they just like picked us up randomly. I just was like, I used to just show up at White Boy Ryan's house. I used to just show up like early in the morning, my nigga. Like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm just like there calling him, knocking on the window, bro. It's time to get up. Time to kick it. I used to do that. So I was just there when the niggas came to pick up Ryan. I wasn't like a part of the plan to do this Salvia, but there's a video somewhere. I didn't go down there. I thought of it that way. Like, I didn't go down there. I went down there to get it later on with some people. I never purchased it myself. So this time we're just at this house. And yeah, there's footage everywhere. Shout out to Trey. Trey Bebe was there. Trey Bebe got the footage. I'm pretty sure it was on Trey Bebe's phone. At first I was like, I hope nobody ever sees it, but now at this point, I would love to see that. But they hollering Trey Bebe. Trey, Hurricane Chris just murdered a nigga. Anywho, I digress. Trey Bebe, I think he was at Trey's house. And, one by one, niggas, like, smoke the salvia. You smoke it. I think they mixed it with the weed. And then it's like an incense. And when you smoke it, it makes you hallucinate. So you smoke it with the weed and you hold it in for as long as you can. And then when you let it out, you fucking just, depending on the potency of the salvia, it'll have different effects. So I had like, this time we were doing like medium potency, and you just go fucking dumb for like 3 to 5 minutes, my guy. And when I say go dumb, I mean drooling all over yourself. You're trying to talk, but you can't articulate a thing, all right? It's fucking just the most uncomfortable feeling I've ever experienced, to be honest. And that was the medium intensity. And we just did it at a house. There's a video of us all just drooling all over ourselves. And it's just like, why did we do that? It was like, well, we did it. We tried it. And now it's illegal. Let's be done with it. So then after that, I was with Matt and Rashid, the homies. And we went to Knuckleheads. And these niggas got like the max intensity. I had did this one already where I'm drooling all over myself. So there was absolutely nothing you could tell me. Absolutely nothing you could tell me to get me to smoke this even stronger shit after I just went dumb after doing it the first time. Like, you're out of your mind. You are out of your mind. And I think even before this, I had heard the story. My guy was telling me about his homie who was sitting in a park, sitting on a slide, and he had like a bowl of it, like half weed, half, or with some salvia. And so he hit it, cleared the whole bowl. Because, you know, that's how badass he is. Cleared the whole bowl, held it in, and he said, like, as soon as he exhaled, the fucking world started to fucking crash into his feet at fucking rapid speeds, my nigga. Rapid speeds. And he said it happened for like 3 to 5 minutes straight, nigga. And he's just sitting there fucking sweating, freaking out. He's just like, he'll never do it again. Worst fucking experience of his life. And it's like, dude, why would I do it? And I think I told these niggas about it, and they're still hype on it. So we go, I think we parked at, I think pretty much Lake Park. With like me, Matt, and Rashid. Niggas went to Lake Park. And Rashid drove. We sit in the car. These niggas is finna do it. I'm like, they're trying to convince me, and I'm like, nigga, you just give it up. Because there's nothing. There's nothing that would make me want to experience that again. That shit was terrible. It was the worst I've ever felt, my nigga. Nothing there's nothing. And all I hear is horror stories. You know? It's nothing. So these niggas, we park. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. In the front passenger seat. Matt's in the back. Rashid's in the driver. Rashid smokes it first. He hits the bowl first. Clears the whole thing. Because he's badass like that. Fucking, he holds it in. Matt, I think he has like, he packs a bowl or whatever. Fucking, and he smokes it too. And I don't want any part of it. Or maybe they pack, I think like maybe Rashid hit half the bowl and Matt got the rest of it. I think that's what happened. So they both smoked it. Rashid's just like sitting there, kind of slumped down a little bit. And then he just starts looking around. Like, Rashid fucking starts pulling, like yanking on the door handle. Or yanking on like just not even the door handle. Just like the side. He's grabbing the door. You know what I'm saying? Like just trying to like force it open. But he can't. Because he's not grabbing the handle, he's just grabbing the door. And then he eventually just fucking dives out of the fucking car window, my nigga. I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? I'm sitting there like, bro. And he just fucking dives out of the window. I'm the only person not smoking this shit, all right? He dives out of the window and just fucking starts running. We're at fucking Lake Park. And I'm just sitting there like, I fucking told these niggas, you know? I'm not gonna chase this nigga. I just sit there. Fucking Matt starts freaking out in the back seat. And he fucking gets out of the car and just starts running. And I'm just sitting there like, man. Like, I don't want no parts of this. You know what I'm saying? You niggas are going crazy right now. You're running around, diving out of car windows. I want no part of this. And I didn't have any part of it. I waited in the car. When Rashid came back, he said that the car it was like he was in a mouth and the car was about to swallow him. It was eating him. And he just fucking dived out of the mouth, the window, like at the last second. Nigga, I want no parts of that. But that's not Delta 8. That's Salvia. Delta 8 is real light. No fucking hallucinogen, no psychoactive effects or whatever it is. Nothing that make you hallucinate. This is just some shit it's just some real chill shit, depending on the strain of whatever you got for it. But it's Delta 8. It's legal. Go ahead and try it out. Don't fuck with no Salvia. It's not legal anymore. I don't think it's legal anywhere. Hopefully not. But if it is, don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. Not even if your high school politics teacher gives you that recommendation. Even if he shouts it out in the middle of class. Don't do it. All right? But go get that Delta 8 and try it out if you want. Or look it up. Just look it up first. If you're interested, try it out. Don't just go get it, my nigga. Look it up. Do your research. But you want to talk about some real shit, my nigga? Y'all want to talk about some real shit, my nigga? You want to talk about some real nigga shit, my nigga? Vegeta versus Moro. We're talking about Dragon Ball Super here, ladies and gentlemen. This shit was badass. This shit was badass, ladies and gentlemen. As a Vegeta stan, if I haven't said it enough here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Vegeta fucking stan. I got Vegeta fucking tattooed on my body. On my body. I'm a Vegeta stan. Okay? Vegeta uses instant transmission just because it was necessary and was like, nigga, I ain't using that weak ass technique ever again, bruh. I just did it because I had to get to this planet real quick. I'm not using your weak ass technique again, bitch ass Goku. All right, so that's what happened at the end of the last episode. Goku got his ass beat by Moro, the goat. He's a fucking goat, humanoid wizard who eats spirit energy. He'll drain your life force and kill you just naturally. He can like drain the life force from all living beings of a planet just by like with his technique, his ability. He can just do that. You don't even know it's happening until you just fucking start to get super fucking weak. And you're like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden he is just getting fucking insanely strong. This is Moro. And he whooped that nigga Goku, alright? Beat that nigga Goku ass. Was about to kill that nigga Goku. Then my nigga Vegeta came in with the instant transmission and was like, yeah, I used your weak ass technique, nigga. I used your weak ass technique, nigga. But I ain't never using this weak ass shit again, nigga. I get around. Alright? I get around, nigga. That's what my nigga Vegeta said to Goku. Then he turned his sights to this weak ass nigga Moro. Alright? Prince Vegeta turns his sights to this weak ass nigga Moro. And he proceeds to, at first, you know, he attacks Moro. I think he just knocks him away. I think he pretty easily just knocks Vegeta back. And people are like, oh shit. I thought this nigga Vegeta he came in here real confident. That seemed pretty easy for Moro. But then Vegeta just like jumps up real quick, comes right back at Moro, just starts, so he punched Moro and then it just like looked like it had no effect on Moro. Moro's just sitting there like, what? Like, what are you doing? Knocked him away. And then Vegeta just came right back at him with a flurry of punches, just lighting this nigga up. And with every punch, it seems like he's doing more and more damage. And then as he continues to beat this weak-ass nigga Moro's ass, fucking just energy just starts to seep out of Moro's body. If you niggas is getting real excited, you probably got goosebumps listening to this right now. I'm trying to let you niggas know. Alright? Vegeta is beating this nigga Moro's ass, and energy starts to secrete from this nigga's body. Alright? At some point, Vegeta comes in, I think he kicks this nigga in the fucking stomach, and fucking Moro, this weak ass nigga Moro, at this point, like, vomits out a shit ton of fucking energy. And then he tries to attack my nigga Vegeta. Vegeta fucking flips backwards and he ends up right by fucking Goku. Goku's like, Vegeta, this technique you've learned. And then Vegeta's like, bitch ass nigga, weak ass nigga. This is Force Spirit Fission, my nigga. Force Spirit Fission, my nigga. Only real niggas know this technique. Well, he didn't say that yet. He didn't say that. Well, what Goku said was like, oh shit, my nigga. I've only heard that technique, but I've never actually seen anybody use it. And he was like, that's right, weak ass nigga. We both trained on that planet. But I'm more talented than you, weak ass nigga. Victory's mine. So then Vegeta continues to beat that weak ass nigga Moro's ass. And as he continues to weaken Moro, let me explain. So the technique, Forced Spirit Fission, and I'm going to continue to say fission because I fucking love chemistry. he separates. He can separate energy from if it was absorbed from absorption or by fusion, by means of absorption or means of fusion. That's what he's doing. And because Moro's fucking technique is to absorb the life force of a planet and all the people who inhabit it, his technique is exactly the reverse of Moro's technique. And he has this giant energy ball in the air, and he just fucking raises his hand. My nigga Vegeta raises his hand and just fucking opens his hand, and instantly all that energy shoots back across the galaxy, and it re-enters the bodies of all the people that Moro had killed by draining the life force of their planet, of everything on the planet. It shot back and brought a lot of these people back to life. Vegeta, like, resave the whole fucking universe. Which I just want to say, side note. So then they start talking about how like Vegeta asked fucking the Storm Patrol guy, or the Space Patrol guy. He's like, "Yo, man, do you want Moro dead or alive?" And they're like, the Galactic Patrol. And they're like, "Yo, the only reason we kept Moro alive is because there was nobody strong enough to kill him. But if you can do it, feel free to kill Moro right now." Vegeta's like, "All right, I'm not like this weak-ass nigga Goku. I'm about to send you to hell." And Moro's like, "You don't think you're going to hell too?" And my nigga Vegeta was like, "Bitch-ass nigga?" He was like, "At the end of the day, I know I'm bound for hell." He was like, "I'm a villain. I've been prepared for them consequences for quite some time, weak ass nigga." And for no reason at all. So this is where the shit gets dumb. And you might say, "No, you just saying that because you a Vegeta stan." Nah, this is where the shit gets dumb. Okay? Vegeta is like way more powerful than this nigga. So at this point, Moro was a young man. So when the arc first starts, Moro's old, very old. He's like thousands, if not millions of years old. He's apparently immortal. He's very old, long gray beard. He's a very old man. And through gaining power from other planets, he was able to like regain his youth. He was a feeble old man when they met him, and now he was able to regain his youth. But at this point in the battle, he's an old man again because Vegeta completely drained him of all his gained energy. He's a feeble old man who's basically has no fight power. They established this point in the story. All right? So what happens then? Vegeta says that badass shit, and he's about to kill him. And then Moro's just like, "Weak ass nigga, I still got my magic." And he fucking just like shoots the lava from the fucking ground as he did back on Planet Namek. He can just do that, like force fucking an eruption out of nowhere. So he did that real quick, and then Vegeta lost sight of him. And the fucking nigga from the Galactic Patrol that can see anything, he can, like, at any speed. He's got like super good eyes. He can see any speed. And Vegeta lost him, and he's like, and the guy from the Galactic Patrol, I forget his name, he's like, "Up there!" He flew up. He's going like, and Vegeta sees him and like rushes to go up. Like Moro's heading to his spaceship, which was hovering above the planet, which still has the android 7-3 and another little lackey. I forget that guy's name, but it doesn't matter because as soon as Moro gets up there, he kills the little lackey, and then he uses his magic to freeze the android 7-3, who the android 7-3, he's just a powerful android, but his ability is that if he touches your neck, he can absorb your ability, and he can absorb all your abilities. And Moro uses his magic to paralyze this guy, and then just fucking eats this man. He just eats him whole in his mouth. Out of nowhere, fucking Moro, this is where it gets dumb. Moro just fucking eats this person whole, swallows him. Vegeta shows up while he's like eating this person, this fucking android robot. through his mouth, eating this entire person's body through his mouth. All right. This is when that's happening. Vegeta shows up like looking like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he fucking throws like a ki blast at him. But to no avail, nothing happens because lo and behold, now that Moro ate this nigga whole with his mouth, his whole body with his mouth, fucking Moro fucking fuses with this android and becomes a whole new fucking person. They did fusion again. You know what they did with the last fucking arc? Well, they did a lot of fusion in the tournament arc. You know what they did with the Goku Black arc? A fuck ton of fusion. You know what they did with the fucking every fucking arc since fucking Majin Buu? You know how many times everybody fucking fused? They were like, oh shit, here's something cool, fusion. And now we're going to do it 50 times in this one saga here. And then we're going to do it 80 times repeatedly in every saga after that. Niggas just fused. He fused with this android. And now he went from looking like a goat, Moro, no longer looks like a goat. He looks like Blue Cell. He just looks like Blue Cell. So, Blue Cell is there, and he one shot knocks out Vegeta. Vegeta's unconscious. And now, apparently, for the next episode, it's going to be weak-ass nigga Goku, weak-ass Piccolo, weak-ass Gohan, weak-ass Android 17 and 18 versus Moro, who magically, right, this is what's real dumb. As I just stated, he was a feeble old man again. All the energy that he absorbed and made him so powerful was gone. All right? It was gone. Then he absorbs this fucking android by swallowing his entire body whole. Okay. And he somehow becomes even more powerful, even though all his energy that he absorbed before was gone. He somehow is even more powerful than he was before. That makes absolutely no sense. So he was able to knock out Vegeta with one shot. And now he's going to fight all these weak-ass niggas. And at this point, I felt like we were all waiting for Vegeta to show up and do some cool shit for so long. Niggas forgot that, like, Goku never went into Mastered Ultra Instinct. So that can still happen. He could be watching his son just get manhandled, watching all his friends, his loved ones get manhandled, and somehow tap into Mastered Ultra Instinct and somehow stand a chance against Moro. That's the only thing that could be interesting. This whole fusion shit, they've overplayed their hand with this fucking fusion shit. Oh, are we gonna get a fucking Vegeta? We're gonna get a Gogeta? We're gonna make Gogeta canon? No. That's cool. I can't wait until we get the Gogeta fusion. Or did they do the Gogeta? Nah, because when the Goku Black, they did the Potara, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, because you're not gods, even though we lied in Majin Buu and said if you use these Potara earrings, you're fucking fused forever. Now we're saying, oh, it only lasts like 30 minutes because you're not gods. So, yeah, that's why they're back. That's why I was like, oh, they must have did the fusion dance. But what they could do here is maybe make Gogeta canon, which is fucking stupid. Because Vegeta was just saying, I fucking hate fusion. He was like, I was never a fan of any of that. It doesn't show you how strong anyone is. And now you're going to, like, pretty much force the hand of fusion. It's just, let's just cool it on the fusion for a second here. Can we just try that out? No more fusion. That's what I want. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Hold on 1 second. We can, I don't know what just happened. It just said it was gonna restart, and I'm like, don't do it. Niggas is recording. All right, hold on. Yeah. Sorry about that. But moving on. Shot a music video the other day. Shot a music video. I don't even know. I want to shout out the videographer, my boy, but he was like he doesn't. I don't know. I don't even know if he wants me to advertise it like that. So maybe I'll just wait on that. Maybe I'll just wait until it comes out. But shot a music video for my song. It's called Can I? And pretty hype on it. I think it's a pretty cool video. It's a relatively short song, but I fucking love this song. It's pretty amazing. I think the video looks fucking cool. I think it makes me look randomly cool. I got a haircut for it. I don't look like the bearded guy in the logo at the moment. Figured I'd play the game right now. But the album, The Grump, ladies and gentlemen, my album is called The Grump. It's finished. Shot a music video, so now it's officially a real thing. You know, it's a real thing. Just got to get the the artwork done, front back cover, probably I don't know. We'll see. I got ideas. I got ideas. We'll see. Cause it's interesting. What were your favorite things? As back in the day when I was a kid, my favorite thing about albums was going through the fucking booklet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys felt that way, but I'd love to get a CD and go through and see some cool shit. If they had handwritten lyrics in the fucking booklet, that'd be fucking cool. Just random shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen here necessarily, but I like to do something cool. Not too much. I'm not trying to get crazy, because I'm just a random local ass nigga. All right? I'm a local ass nigga. Y'all don't even know. Anyway, but yeah, the album's The Grump. It's finished. It's produced 100% by Mike Regal. Pardon a couple acapellas on there. Your boy drops a couple acapellas on you. 13 tracks in total. Recorded at Silver City Studios with Andrew Jimbura. Did a fucking fantastic job. If you guys want quality fucking work, go to Silver City Studios. That's the spot. I'm just real hype on this album. I'm real hype on this project. Real hype to just release this to the world. Everyone that's heard it so far is pretty into the music. It was it's weird because, I heard it, and even just as I'm writing it, I'm like, fuck, this shit's amazing. Over time, and it's well, yeah, I think this. And then, I record it, I get it all back, mixed, mastered, and all that shit, and I'm like, fuck, this is just as amazing as I thought it was gonna be, But it's at the same time, it's still me saying that, and I wrote it all, you know what I'm saying? I fucking did this, so of course, I'm gonna think that way. And you're gonna say, oh, why would you say that? It's because, have you guys heard a lot of these motherfuckers out here? A lot of them are bad, and they're pretty good, pretty famous at being fucking terrible. So y'all support a lot of trash ass niggas, and I'm sure they don't hear their trash ass music and feel they don't feel yeah, I'm trash as fuck, but people fuck with me. No, they think it sounds good. So I'm I don't know if I just personally think it sounds good because I'm deluded. I can't really necessarily judge it because it's me. And but I'm dude, this shit is fucking dope. This shit sounds amazing. And yeah, I sent it to Regal and he was like, dog, this shit is amazing. I'm like, nigga, I can't be the only one that's hearing this right now. That shit's fire. And it's crazy because, like, the first song, I was like, honestly, this always happens with the, I remember, like, a long time ago, I started putting out music, put out this song called Sometimes, and I had said this line that was like, I'm chilling with a bedrock cutie that's never been scared to roll a yabba dabba doobie. And I wrote that line, and I instantly thought that was the fucking worst line I ever wrote. And I wanted to rewrite that. I was like, I'll just come back to it. And before I went and recorded it, I was like, fuck, I gotta rewrite that. And I was trying to, and I couldn't really think of anything that would flow and replace it at such short notice. I didn't do it right away. So I left it in, like, but begrudgingly. And everybody that heard that song fucking loved that. That's their favorite line of the song. And so it's like, dude, it's a good thing that I left it in, you know. And with this album, there's a song, track number 2, the first song on the album. I was like, I wrote that song and I was like, fuck, should I just like rewrite certain things in here? Cause it seemed like there was like kind of like anti-police lyrics, if you will. Not like, you know, it's just like, just being black, talking about experiences and shit like that. And at the time that I recorded it, I was thinking like, fuck, am I kind of beating a dead horse? Like, should I not be talking about this right now? But I just fucking left it, and I was like, whatever. If they say it's dated, they say it's dated. This is how I wrote it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like listening to it now, nigga, and I'm like, holy shit. It's almost like I planned it. Like, this shit flows so beautifully. Everything that I'm talking about here. Like, I got a song called Kaepernick on here. It's fucking phenomenal. And it's like everything just fucking flows in. All these lines talking about, what is it, The Gap? All that shit flows into everything that's happening right now. It's like, fuck. I was like, fuck, is it dated? I was like, are these topics that I'm talking about too dated? But literally right now, it's the perfect fucking time to drop this project. It's coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. The Grump is coming soon. We got a video. The album's done. Just got to get a few more things done. I'm already working on the next project. I got the one song lighted up. I already started. I got the one verse. The hook is fucking crazy. It's so crazy that I fucking almost want to put it on this project. This song's crazy, but it's like, nah. This album's already great. It's already great. The Grump is great. Next project's gonna be phenomenal. So, we'll see. We'll see what up with you niggas. I'm just hype. Alright? I'm hype, ladies and gentlemen. This project's fucking dope. The Grump is coming soon. I'm saying, I don't even know, man. I don't even want August to get here. You know what I'm saying? We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't want August to beat me. You know. We'll see. I want to get this to you guys as soon as possible. But let's switch it up. UFC on ESPN 10 happened this weekend. Nothing real. I wasn't super hype about this card. I mean, I guess there was some good fights. You know, there were some good fights. I was off on my time, and when it started, I thought it was going to start at 5 o'clock, but it started at 4, I guess. And I turned it on at like 5:07, and the third fight had just ended at that point. So I was like, whatever. It's prelims. I probably didn't miss too much. I'm watching them right now. But what was interesting that I missed originally, I didn't see it live. There was this fight between this guy, Max Roshkoff, and versus Austin Hubbard. Apparently, like, I could be like messing this up. It was Max R, all right, Roshkoff. Max Roshkoff. I think he at least competed in ADCC at 160. Might have been a champ, but I know he at least competed, is what they were saying. 160, 165. I could be mistaken on all. I'm not. I just heard it in the commentary, and I was like, oh, because I love jujitsu, and Max was coming forward, attempting some submissions in the first. He was like, a confident fighter. I think he was undefeated at this point coming into this fight. So he all his finishes by submission. He was able to get the fight to the ground. He got a high single leg, and then just like went for this kick to the head and just like wrapped it around to like try and get this heel hook. It was pretty cool. I've never seen anything like it. But Hubbard like was able to escape and get out of there. And then when they stood up, Hubbard was just like landing and hurting him in the stand up. He's really hurting him. Like every time he was landing, he was just too fast, too strong, and it seemed like a new experience for Hubbard. I mean for Max in his debut. Hubbard started to put it on him, and he was really he was too fast, and he was throwing combinations. It wasn't just like one strike at a time. You had Max going out there and doing these like spinning kicks. He's going for all this like these high energy moves, and he tired himself out. All these weird kicks. He's going for all these wild kicks early on. He tired himself out. Hubbard's throwing 3-4 strikes at a time, really landing hard. Max does an Imanari roll to come into the second. Gets a takedown, but then like he wasn't able to do anything with it. Hubbard was able to get up right away, and at that point, fucking Max looks fucking deflated. He looks fucking exhausted after doing an Imanari roll, and just like he was able to stand up right away. Like he got him down, but nothing happened, so he was like defeated. And at that point, Hubbard just starts to beat the shit out of Max, just lighting this man up on the feet. Hubbard just can't even, like, he's trying to come forward, trying to like show some kind of fight, but like he's just fucking, Hubbard's just teeing off on him at this point, just abusing him. And so that round ends, and if you've seen it live, it would have gone to commercial, and then when it came back, the ref was like, all right, fight's over. And you're like, what the fuck happened? And then they go back to it and they show you that after the second round, Max Roshkoff, he goes to his corner and he's like, call it, to his corner. And they're like, nah, man, you got it. And he's like, Rob, call it, I'm done. And he's like, no, man, you got it. He's like, I don't have it. And he's like, stop saying that, you're a champion. And he's like, no, call it. I don't want to do this anymore. Call it. Tell him I'm done. Call it. And they're just like, nah, man, you got it. Just go out there and wrestle him. And he's like, no, call it. And he's like, are you sure you want to quit? You want to lose? And he's like, yes, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, nah, man, you got it. And they're going to just like leave the cage. And this guy's like begging. They say he begged to quit like 9 times. Asked him to quit 9 times, to call off the fight 9 times. And they just ignored him. And then like, so they started to walk away. The ref like sees him still sitting on the chair. And he comes up. He's like, do you want to continue? And he's like, no. And the ref was like, all right, fight's over. You know, and that shit's insane. I think it's interesting. I don't know if his career should necessarily be over. This was his UFC debut. And that's, as I was saying, he was throwing these fucking wild kicks. Ill-advised wild kicks. It wasn't like he was throwing like 2 punches and then boom, here comes a kick. It was just like all of a sudden spinning kick. Like no setup. So he tired himself out there. I don't know if he's necessarily not fit for the UFC, but I think he just had he fought on 10 days notice, his UFC debut. Unfortunately, his coaches would not listen to him, and he had to do that. He had to quit. He had to tell the ref, nah, I don't want to go anymore. And I don't see any shame in it, man. There's no shame in it. He knew he was done. He just sitting there getting teed off on. He had no energy. You could see it in there. He's just getting fucking abused out there. Do you want him to, like, when we see fucking fights with, like, Anthony Smith, and his teeth are falling out, and he's handing his teeth to the referee, and you're like, why didn't they call this fight? Why didn't they stop this fight? And you see that at any point, fucking Anthony Smith could have fucking stopped it himself. Nobody stopped it there. And this guy, I'm not going to give him flack for knowing he was done and was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. Like, yeah. So, shout out to him. Fuck that corner. When did that happen? Like, that happened when somebody fought Amanda Nunes. I forget who the girl was that fought Amanda Nunes. But she went back to her corner after the second round and was like, yo, I'm done. And they were like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Go back in there and sent her out there, and she got fucking abused even more. That shit's not cool. It's like your fighter says, I'm done. You can't be like, nah, you got it. It's like, bro, I have nothing left. Nah, you got it, bro. It's weird because, like, part of me feels like when they say things like that and then I look at their fighter's pay, like I saw that he only got paid $12,000 for that fight. So probably like $6,000 of that. Or probably like $6,000 to $4,000 of that goes to the camp. But had he somehow went out there and wrestled him, like they were saying, and win the fight that way, if he had been able to do that, he would have won an additional $12,000, and they would have got a bigger cut. That's always a thing there. But even though this guy's like, call it, they're like, nah, you got it. Just go in there and wrestle him. It's pretty interesting. I say I'm the bad luck guy. I posted my predictions on Instagram, like, bad luck guy strikes again, because as you guys have seen, if you go on Instagram, I usually do pretty poorly with my picks, I'd say. This night, I was 8 out of 12. I got 8 out of 12 right. And one of those misses, ladies and gentlemen, Brianna Van Buren, as I was saying, was going to be the one to challenge fucking Zhang Weili. Got her fucking ass beat by Tecia Torres. As I was looking, dude, she got her ass beat by Tecia Torres. And then as I was watching these prelims today, I'm looking at the highlights. They're showing, like, the preview of that fight. And I'm watching, like, someone get Tecia Torres in the clinch, and then she just throws, like, these 3 quick strikes, and she's so fucking muscular. And I'm like, holy fuck, why didn't I think she was going to win this fight? Like, she's so much bigger than Brianna Van Buren. And she fucking just destroys Brianna Van Buren, and it's like she's hitting her with these body kicks, and Van Buren is like flying to the cage, like not even joking, like being fucking pushed to the fucking cage by these fucking nasty kicks. She just went out there and got abused. She couldn't do anything. Like, she was trying to come at her with some strikes, but fucking Tecia Torres was just like walking through that. Beat the fuck out of her. Could be the end of Brianna Van Buren. I said that about Macy Barber. She's claiming to come back, but I honestly don't think the holes are going to be fixed there. I think they're going to try to, like, match her up a little better. But I don't think the holes are going to be fixed. And I think Van Buren's probably just too small for the weight class at this point. Tecia Torres. Van Buren's 5 feet tall, and Tecia Torres is 5'1", I think, and Van Buren looked pretty tiny. She looked like half of Tecia Torres' size. I think she's just too small for the division right now. She's going to have to put on a lot of muscle and then cut weight down to that weight class. I think she probably has to get up to that weight. The main event was Curtis Blaydes versus Alexander Volkov. Blaydes won. I didn't really care. Apparently, Dana White, as he does, just to kind of like bring down the credibility of a fighter, criticized Blades and said Blades looks stupid because he was talking all this trash and said he was going to ragdoll Volkov. He's going to ragdoll Volkov. And he's like, but he got tired after the third round and just like made it through the fifth and he won the fight. He's talking so much shit about his own fighters because Curtis Blades is one of the fighters who's saying, like, I think Blades is on like whatever win streak. I don't think it's a huge win streak. The only person he's lost to is Francis Ngannou. He's lost to Ngannou twice. Those are his only 2 losses. He's beaten pretty much everybody else. He's the number 3 ranked guy. Basically number 2 because Cormier is retiring after his fight with after his fight with Stipe. So he's basically the number 2 guy behind Francis, who's the only person that beat him. So Dana's talking so much shit about this guy. He was like, can't give him a title shot after that fight. Maybe he should stay active. And his Blades is like, stay active. Like, he's like, I'm the number 2 guy. He's like, I've already fought Francis twice. He's already fought the number 1 guy twice. And he's already beaten everybody behind him. He's like, what do you mean stay active? Like, there's nobody else there to fight but the champion. But, anywho, I didn't care too much for that fight. Next week, we got ESPN on, or UFC on ESPN 11. Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker in the main event. That's going to be a crazy fucking fight. Man, I'd love to see Dan Hooker win that fight. I think Poirier might be too powerful for him. I saw Dan Hooker fight Edson Barboza here in Milwaukee. And I think the power that Barboza was sending at Hooker was just too much. And I think like Max Holloway figured out, or he found out, Poirier is just a little quicker. He's a lot stronger. Everybody sees how strong he is, but he's a lot quicker than everybody realizes. I think that's what that's what Dan Hooker is going to find out. He's a lot quicker than he's expecting. And I think Poirier might get first, second round knockout. I don't think it goes past second round. You got Mike Perry taking on Mickey Gall. I'm hyped for that fight. That should be fucking amazing. Hopefully, Mike Perry wins that fight. I'd love Mike Perry to get a title shot. That build-up, Mike Perry versus Kamaru Usman would be fucking insane. Mike Perry versus any of these. Mike Perry versus versus Kobe, and then Mike Perry is trying to pretend he's black. I would love it. I would love it. So I want Perry to win this fight. I've always hated on Mickey Gall ever since he beat CM Punk. You should have did the job, my guy. You go in there and you do the job, but you didn't do the job. So I'm rooting against you. I rooted against you when you fought Diego Sanchez. I root against you all the time. This is how it's got to be. You got Brendan Allen taking on Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus comes in undefeated. Brendan Allen comes in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't think he's from here, but he trains here. So I'm rooting for that nigga. I was rooting for him every time he was out there. I'm rooting for that nigga now. Got Brendan Allen going winning in that one. That's my prediction. You got Aspen Ladd taking on Sarah McMahon. I'm going with Aspen Ladd in there. You know they're trying to build up Aspen Ladd, trying to feed her to the beast, trying to feed her to fucking Amanda Nunes. If you're lucky, I think what does Aspen Ladd fight at? I think she might fight at 135. I was thinking that she fought at 145, and if Nunes retires, Dana White was like, we're getting rid of all those big bitches. He said they're getting rid of the 145 if that's the biggest division for women, and he said they're getting rid of it if Nunes retires, so we'll see what happens there. But I got Aspen Ladd beating Sarah McMahon. Then you got Luis Pena taking on Kama Worthy. Kama Worthy's a veteran out here. Had a nice knockout in his last fight. It's cool to see him back. I got Luis Pena in this one. Got Luis Pena. And we're going to wrap it up tonight. If you guys want to go ahead and follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You can go ahead and follow my personal accounts at My Name's Jermaine. You can email the podcast at Babylon5podcast at gmail.com. At Babylon5podcast at gmail.com. You can follow the podcast on Podbean at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, nigga, pretty much anywhere, nigga. If you niggas got Xbox One, go ahead and add a brother. My gamer tag is SauceBoss414. If you guys want to check out the merch, buy a t-shirt or two, my nigga. It's teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And go ahead and watch me play with myself at twitch.tv/Babylon5pod. And go ahead and be my patrons. Pretty soon here, one day, you guys might get an exclusive, an early listen of the Grump. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5pod. It's episode 44. Working title, San Pellenegro. San Pellenegro. I'm Jermaine Event, your San Pellenegro. And thank you guys so much for rocking with me. If you rock with me this whole time, if this is your first time, welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Yeah. See you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Be mindful of others. There's still a pandemic going on, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let this shit fool you. Don't let these fucking elections fool you. I mean, fucking participate in elections, but make sure you're doing it safely. That's the most important thing, man. There's still some shit going on. So just stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you next week. All right. Peace.